Hello, this is Reb Yoseph Schreiber coming to you from the land of Israel. In this week's Parshas Lech, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Avraham Avinu to travel to the land of Israel. Avraham does this, and when he gets there, a famine ensues, and he decides to go down to Egypt because their food is plentiful. And when he is traveling there, he takes note that his wife Sarah is in fact a very beautiful woman, and he's somewhat alarmed that someone would actually kill him in order to steal his wife. So they agreed to say that they're only brother and sister rather than husband and wife. So they go to Egypt, but the plan goes awry, and when he's crossing there, he has to go through customs, and he puts Sarah into a basket, and the Egyptian border guards ask him what's in the basket, and he says barley. They say, you're just saying that because that's the cheapest duty. So he says, they said it must have wheat in there, and he says he'll pay the duty on wheat, and then they become suspicious again, and ultimately they say it has gold in there. He says, at that point, he just opens the box, and they see Sarah, and they say, well, she's not fitting for just an ordinary man. And she is taken to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh promptly puts her into his harem. It doesn't go well for Pharaoh. He was struck with leprosy in his whole house. And when he can't have relations because of the leprosy, or the niga'im more precisely, he realizes that Sarah really is Avraham's wife. And he restores her to Avraham, and he rebukes Avraham for the rouge and expels them from Egypt. Now, in fact, under the law, really you cannot just grab a woman, any woman, like she's a work active, to marry her. You have to get her consent and quite possibly the agreement of her family as well. So Pharaoh, in fact, was an unsavory character. The Ramban says that really Avraham made a mistake, and that he should have trusted that HaKadosh Baruch Hu would protect him rather than subjecting himself and his wife to this sort of test. The more basic idea, though, is that Avraham was unduly harsh in his judgment of Pharaoh and in his judgment of his surroundings. It's true they were very bad, and things did go badly for him in many ways. However, they were not so bad that they would actually kill him to take his wife away. On the other hand, their actions were in fact very bad. So what we see is a common theme in the Chumash, which is the purification and uprooting of sin. Abraham's harshness in his assessment of others is modified through this experience, and Pharaoh also learns that even though he's the king, Nevertheless, not every woman may wish to marry him and live in the palace. So what happens through this experience is that they both grow. You have a similar situation where Moshe Rabbeinu sees that the people have no water. They're screaming to him for water, and he calls out to God, and God tells him that he's going to get water from a rock and to walk in front of the people, that they will not actually stone him as Moshe was concerned about. So it was a case where you have growth on the part of the tzaddik, even though his sins and shortcomings may be very slight. And this is in fact the way of the world and the way of of bringing the redemption. As it says in Psalm 139, David HaMelech pleads to God, or prays to God, that that God should search his heart and check his thoughts and test him in order to see whether there is any degenerate or sorrowful paths within him, and that he should be placed on the way of permanence, in the way of eternity in this world. Shabbat Shalom. Hava NaGila, Hava NaGila, Hava NaGila unisbacha. Hava NaGila, Hava NaGila, Hava NaGila v'nisbacha. Uru Achim lev samech, Uru Achim lev samech, Uru Achim lev samech, Uru Achim lev sameach. Hava NaGila, Hava NaGila, Hava NaGila v'nisbacha. Hava NaGila, Hava NaGila, Hava NaGila v'nisbacha. Uru Achim lev sameach, Uru Achim lev sameach, Uru Achim lev sameach, Uru Achim lev sameach.